You know how something that used to feel really exciting can start to feel, well, maybe not so exciting and possibly a little mundane? That is how I am starting to feel about travel. And don't get me wrong, travel has been a huge part of my life. It's given me freedom, it's given me confidence, it's given me, well, this YouTube channel. It has changed my entire life. But lately, I have been feeling the need to slow down and maybe uncomplicate my life. Now, that doesn't mean that I am giving up on travel completely. I've been feeling a little bit of burnout over the past 6 months or so, and I need to figure out maybe a different direction to go in. So I have been doing some introspection and trying to figure out what this next season of my life might look like. I started traveling about 10 years ago, around the time that my daughter was like a junior or senior in college, high school. I mean, I started to take my trips and then ultimately ended up moving to Nicaragua for over a year to live as an expat down there. So my travel career has been going on for a number of years now, and it has given me an incredible sense of freedom and confidence, and never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would end up being able to make a living and have a career by traveling. That is just blown my mind over the past 6 years that this has ended up being the career that I am in, and I have absolutely loved pretty much every minute of it. I mean, there's always things that, with some not so fun moments, but for the most part, I will take all of the crappy moments for the amazing good moments that I have had with travel. And I am not giving up travel anytime soon. I just am starting to feel a need to feel a little more settled and not be chasing after the next high on my next trip. And like I said before, I have been feeling a little less inspired and, for the lack of a better word, pretty much burned out over the past 6 to 8 months or so. And I've been struggling to figure out what direction I want to go in from here. I've been finding that I have been lacking any motivation to plan trips or even inspiration of where I'd like to go next or do. Like, if somebody asked me, like right now, if I just wanted to hop on a plane and go anywhere in the world, where would I want to go? I don't even have any great answer for that. Right now, sitting at home on my porch and enjoying the peace here is feeling more and more what I am craving than to be out hitting the streets and exploring somewhere new. And that is not ever a feeling that I thought I would have, because I love exploring new places. I think that I am craving more of a routine and some simplicity, and perhaps this is just a season that I'm going through. I do think that perhaps this shift in what I am looking for in life also comes from a lot of the chaos that is happening out in the world, with all of, with being at war, with the United States, people are just, divisive, all of the stuff that is happening, that's way outside of any control that I have. It's definitely putting a little bit of a dampening effect on my mental capacity. And I think that has something to do with the shift too, especially with, when you think about how you have so little control over what happens out in the world, and you have your own little bubble that you can control things in, and being a little bit of a control person, it is something that I think is driving part of these emotions and exhaustion, and a need to find some calm in the chaos. I think that is where a lot of this need for a change is coming from. Also, travel is going to be challenging over the next few years. I don't see the prices going down, and in fact, with the fuel prices as high as they are right now, I mean, plane tickets are incredibly expensive. Going places is going to feel, a little more unsafe, perhaps than it has been. And I think that a lot of us, myself included, are going to be dialing back on international trips especially. And maybe we'll be traveling more within the United States, but with the cost of groceries and, like I said before, fuel rising, that still is expensive and perhaps something that might be not as easy to do as it has been over the past few years. In the meantime, some of the journaling that I've been doing in the morning and introspection and just thinking throughout the day about what it is that I get out of travel that maybe is something that I want to try to get out of my daily life. You know, a few of the things that I love about travel, that what it gives to me and it fills my soul up with. I love the stimulation and the creativity that I get when I am traveling. I love that I am trying new things and it gets me out of my normal routine, which is ironic because one of the things I'm craving is routine, yet one of the things I love about travel is that it gets me out of routine. We'll have to figure that part out as well. But I think that what I'd like to try to accomplish here in my home is to find ways to bring on that stimulation and creativity and at the same time have a sense of calm and simplicity that I don't get when I'm traveling. I'd like to bring it all together so that I can get it here in my home base and know that I have that at my home base when I am off traveling, because I am still going to travel. I love travel. I don't want to give that up. It's just I need to take a step back. And in fact, this year I am traveling less. You've probably noticed that I haven't been talking about any big trips that I'm taking this year. I did my long kind of sabbatical trip to Puerto Rico, but that's almost like a home away from home. I've stayed at the same place for 3 years now, so it's not quite the same as traveling abroad and being in a whole new environment with new people and new languages and new foods. It's not that, because I do go to Puerto Rico so often and it's very familiar to me now. But this year I've got 3 weddings that I'm going to, 2 of my nieces, so 2 weddings here in North Carolina, 1 wedding in Oregon. Unfortunately, a memorial service that I will most likely be going to in Oregon as well. So that is kind of taking up a lot of my time this year. I am planning on taking my mom up to Nova Scotia, up to Prince Edward Island sometime this summer. And those are pretty much the only trips that I have planned. I might do a couple of weekend getaways to the mountains, but for now, it's going to be very, very mellow, with no huge, long, big bucket list trips in the plans, not even for 2027 yet. I don't know. I'm not even thinking about 2027 at this point. But for this year, it's going to be very minimal travel, mostly to places that I've already been and know, and for experiences with loved ones, which I am really looking forward to. But I'm not going to stop traveling altogether. I promise you that. There will still be plenty of travel content on this channel. I'm just going to add these videos about simplifying my life in as extra videos throughout the months. But this is going to be a series. I've decided to do a series on my journey of simplifying my life and finding calm in the chaos by doing a lot of things around my house and my hometown that I haven't really shared on this channel before. And I've been living in this trailer, so if you are new here and this is your first video seeing me, it's very different from what I usually post. I live in a 1970s trailer on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and I live here. It's a small, like 720 square foot trailer, and I live about 2 blocks from the ocean, which is why I love my little house, because the location just can't be beat. It's very peaceful. It's a very small town, a very small community, and it does give me a lot of joy to live here. But I have lived here for 6 years now, and there's a lot of things that have just kind of accumulated over the years that I'm ready to shift, move, reorganize, And I feel like that's going to make my life feel a little bit better. Ultimately, I don't think this is about walking away from travel because I love travel too much, but I do think it's about trying to figure out a way to create a life that gives me those feelings that I get when I am traveling. And I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like. I get the feeling that I'm not the only one who has been feeling the need for things to kind of slow down or to have things be a little simpler lately. Are you feeling that way too?